What's up, everybody? It's Coop, host of the Hoops and Hangouts podcast, and I just wanted to come on here and continue with what's on your mind. Right now, the topic is the Golden State Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga. And just to preface this conversation, I just want to say I'm a certified Golden State hater ever since they ruined the NBA back about 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm not letting it go when they signed KD just to ruin the NBA for a few years. But to stay on topic, I just want to talk about the state of the Golden State Warriors being Mike Dunleavy. You can argue that Mike Dunleavy, since he took over as the GM over Bob Myers, that this team has not really won and been in the same place and won at the same level that they were before. I just think this team has gotten older, gotten worse too. You know, before Bob Myers left, you can argue, and you knew it was a goal that they wanted to get younger and really try and extend Steph Curry's prime and get him some more rings. They were able to do it one last time when they brought added additions of Andrew Wiggins. They had Jordan Poole, and then they traded those guys away. You know what I'm saying? Granted, things happen, I know, with Draymond, the whole situation. But, you know, you can argue that he hasn't really done a great job with this team. Just on the Jonathan Kuminga thing, I just think Jonathan Kuminga has overstayed his welcome, man. I really was hoping that he was able to sign with another team during the offseason. He wasn't able to, and they extended him. But now he demanded a trade. And it's just, and Mike Dunleavy came out and said there has to be demand. It's not that there's no demand. It's just you just tanked his value by not playing him. And they're probably not getting the deals that they want in return for him. So I just think that's a little bit of BS. How do you expect demand if he's not playing? Another mistake that I feel like Mike Dunleavy has done. And they talked about during the summer. They feel like, at least during the summer, the way they was talking about him is that, yo, we think he could be like a guy that we can get a star player in return for, right? And they just haven't been able to get the job done, you know, and make that happen, you know, because you guys have tanked his value. Another point that I want to talk about is I think Steve Kerr is also a little bit overrated as a coach. Again, coming from a place of hate for the Golden State Warriors, yes, I'm hating. I think he was handed a complete team with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond back in the day. That was a great core back then. And you could argue Mark Jackson kind of like got the wheels going with that. Again, he's a little overrated because I feel like he just hasn't really been able to. One of the biggest things I feel like as a coach, one of your biggest roles is in how you develop not only older players and get the most out of them, but how do you develop young talent? And we've seen time after time, we've gotten guys like Kuminga, James Wiseman, who they decided to draft over LaMelo Ball, Moses Moody, who they got in there. They got Pods, they got Trace Jackson Davis. We're just not seeing that next step from these guys. And I've never seen, name one person that you feel like Steve Kerr has developed and helped them get to that next step. I'll wait. Exactly my point. So I just think they just have a lot of young players that just haven't been able to take that next step. And again, like I said, the roster has only gotten older. They got some young dudes in there, but they're not that good. And Golden State's kind of also in the middle of the pack type of thing where they're not going to get a high draft pick because they're still trying to win. And they made these moves to get and try to win, right? Jimmy Butler, they traded for it. And as a Heat fan, I'm kind of happy about it. You know what I'm saying? I never wish injuries on anybody, but I'm kind of, glad that, they made that decision because Jimmy Butler even said it, Father Time. He's fighting with Father Time in an interview. Jimmy Butler tore his ACL earlier this week. And, he's a 37-year-old. So now what's your pivot? What you going to do? Who's going to step up? Now you have to play Jonathan Kuminga. But if I'm Jonathan Kuminga, all that, man, I don't want to deal with that, bro. Like I demanded a trade, and now you guys want to start playing me a little bit. I want to trade. I want to have a chance to earn another contract because Jonathan Kuminga is still young and he hasn't even hit his prime yet. So of course he wants to be able to play in a situation where he can play, so he can be able to earn his money in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like if he sticks to this contract and he stays as a role player, that role often follows you into the future. So Jonathan Kuminga, I support your decision, and I just hope you stay steadfast on your decision. Now that you're playing, I hope you can probably get your stock up a little bit and help them. But the direction of this Golden State team, boy, Mike Dunleavy, you should be on the clock, my boy.